riding position doesn't feel too different from before. Reach feels pretty similar. This is always a steep hill, and even just with a regular bike, it definitely feels like you can push more in the turns. Feels a little bit easier to manage. I should probably explain as well exactly what I've done to this bike. It's a transition Sentinel, which is a full 29-inch wheel bike front and rear with 160mm travel front, 150 rear. I've fitted a set of Mazzocchi Bomber 27.5-inch dual crown front forks with 200mm of travel. I've fitted a 27.5-inch wheel to match that, and then I've also then fitted a 27.5 rear wheel to sink in the wheel sizes there with it. So I guess perhaps with a little bit of weight saving of slightly smaller wheels offsets then the extra weight of the downhill forks. I'm going to be riding the spotters from the with me anyway, so I'm not going to be really pushing the bike, so I can just kind of get a feeling what it's like then. Climbing feels hardly noticeable. Right, I think I'll go straight in and there. See how she feels. Definitely feels more weight on the front, which is good actually. Yeah, but really planted on the front. Feels nimble, I guess, is probably because of the 27.5-inch wheels. I did clip the pedals, I think, on some roots there. Right, have a good one. Yeah, cheers. Yeah. Forks are good. When you get into those little bomb holes, that's deep there. Just feel like catching there then. Little braking bumps there. Oh. And then this way it is. Nice. Ooh. I think the forks, yeah, if I could get the forks more into the front of the travel more, it may take a little bit of kind of the weight shift off the back then. And the 27.5 wheels perhaps is just giving it just that bit more nimbleness feeling. Yeah, definitely. And just drop in and try another trail now with a few jumps into the Ginger Monkey. I haven't hit for a while. Good. Yeah, it definitely feels like you can push more in the turns. Managed to use a lot more of the travel then. I'm probably getting pretty close to the full amount there, which is early on it was feeling like perhaps if I could get it more into the front. This is the type of terrain you can feel that low ground clearance the most when you're on a narrow single track with some uneven rocks and trenches, and you can feel your pedals like then just bouncing off some of the rocks and objects there. That is really the biggest downfall of this modification. But even now I can see it as my pedals reaching bottom dead centre. I can see that it's very close to touching, and this is just on a medium grade type of climb. So if you were really tackling some steep gradients, some steep inclines with some objects here, you're gonna make contact with the ground pretty frequently. Question really, I guess you've got to ask is really, is it worth it? And I would say for like all of the positive traits of the improved handling, more of a secure front end, a little bit more of a nimble feel, the biggest hindrance is the bottom bracket height, which measured at 335 millimeters compared to approx 353. That's what the standard settings are. And a few times I did catch the pedals, and I think because I've been riding trails just for a short duration that I'm familiar with, probably being aware of that as well was giving me just that little bit of a safety margin there. So I would say, like, if you were going to run this full time in this setup, then it's probably not going to be worth it, because the drawback is that low height, and it's probably something that is going to come into play at some point where you're going to ground out somewhere, and it could lead to something something else happening on a short-term basis. Like, say if you've got a pair of bomber forks, if you've got a set 27.5-inch wheels laying about, then yeah, it's worth it. But to buy all the components separately just to turn it into this kind of mini downhill rig wouldn't be of any benefit. But yeah, just a fun experiment, and yeah, I'll be quite sad actually to lose the dual crown forks off there, because that height, the riding position, that was definitely a positive. The higher riding position, more secure front end, more nimble handling front and rear, felt good round tight turns, easier to steer, and stability felt about the same really, I guess, because of the big forks up front, that extra weight on the front there. And so it's fun anyway, and enjoyed it. And it has dropper posts as well, which any other time I've tried to ride a bike with those forks, you've never had the luxury of having a dropper there, and climbed well.